I get it. I
And
totally get
and
it.
then I'm trying not to just like look at you guys the whole time because
Yeah.
then people just see this side of my head.
Yeah.
I know my hair looks kind of
This
cute.
is my
but
good side, though, right here.
my hair looks kind of cute, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm screwed either way, but yeah.
Stuff everywhere.
All good, all good. That's the story of my office. Every day, my office.
It gets loud too, so I might lean into your what you started.
All good. Be personable. Be personable.
Take that big brain of yours and give us some layman's terms, because that's how I operate.
Okay.
Layman's terms.
Okay. I got you. I got you.
And your company's linked.
Link fit.
LinkFit.
Yeah. Perfect.
We ready?
I am.
Hey.
Yep.
Hey everybody, we're back here at the Olympia Expo, day one in Vegas. And
Day
I'm
one,
here.
yeah, the Venetian Resort here in Las Vegas, the Olympia Expo, and it's been a busy day. And it's
Yeah,
going
it
to
has
be even
been.
busier tomorrow. All these great guests we're getting in.
Yeah, and Monica Brant show has been awesome. We've had so many wonderful guests already, and we've got another one sitting right here with us, Joe.
Yeah. Why don't you
I mean,
introduce yourself?
we
Because
got-
I can't, all
wait.
your titles.
All
Dr.
good.
Dane
I know,
Bartz.
doctor, yeah, right.
Doctor.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just call me Dane. You can call me
Yeah.
Dane.
Oh,
Totally
we
fine.
get. I mean, I'd love to be a doctor. It'd be fun. Like I am doctor all day long.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you,
But I'm not, but-
it's a wealth of knowledge sitting next to us.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like we gotta
In a
learn.
5-minute conversation, my brain kind of already blew up a little bit. This guy's got so much going on. Where do we want to start, though? I think probably the Olympia University and talk about
Yeah.
what you talked about today a little bit.
Yeah, so actually I haven't talked yet. I actually got my my presentation here in a little bit.
Oh, good. This is a
So we'll
warm-up
get
for you.
We'll get
It
you
is.
warmed
I'm
up
just,
here.
You know, I'm getting my vocabs out right now.
Yeah.
But
Get
overall,
you-
my presentation is about preparing for the KPI. So my big
What
thing
is
that
KPI?
I know, right? Right there,
Yeah.
that's a big word. So overall, key performance indicators. So obviously, when you're in the gym and you're trying to find out what you really want to focus on, how do we determine that, and how can we actually test it? You know, using data like, hey, I did a max lift. Well, what's the numbers? How can I get percentages off of that? So we have a couple other things, you know, that we're going to be talking about and everything like that. Hopefully, I'll get my wife to kind of intervene a little bit from time to time. But overall, preparing for the KPI.
KPI.
I'm sorry. Does KP or B?
KP,
KPI. Does it stand for something?
key performance indicator.
Key performance indicator.
Yeah. So a little bit like that
Okay.
business philosophy in a sense. So you got your OKRs and your KPIs.
Right. The
Using that.
RIRs, the RPG,
Yeah.
I mean, they're all of it. But this is kind of it, though. This is that acronym is the start of it all.
Yep,
Because these key
absolutely.
performance indicators, everybody's really relating to them now. They
Yeah.
resonate with everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of the program we see today is based off percentages,
Yep.
max lifts. How do we apply that?
Yep.
How do we go into a program or a training block with that?
Yep,
And that
100%.
it all starts with the KPI.
Yes, 100%. It's kind of like what you're focusing on for the training session. So it's like, how do we determine that? And that's truthfully one of the biggest things. You know, definitely within the bodybuilding world, you really want to work on symmetry and getting the body to develop to get the growth factors and all of that. So how can we really determine that and selecting it for some particular people or a population that we're working with?
Right. And population is key.
Yeah,
Because it's
100%.
not all about competition.
Yep, that is
Yeah.
true. And
Right.
you know, like, overall, I do own a business. It's called LinkFit. We're in Rochester Hills, Michigan. So
Yep.
we have a general population. We have athletic environments. We have contracts with high schools, other sports organizations, and everything. So when we're working with our overall clients or our members, we really want to determine what we need to use with them and how we can actually determine that for training sessions or overall a program, a training program.
Yeah.
So nothing random.
That is
There's
very
no
true.
random. No randomness.
We try to just be focused, and I always say, like, the reason why I kind of came up with, like, the KPI, it's getting down to business. You
Yeah.
know, that's, like, the biggest thing. You know, when I train to myself, when I'm training with my clients, I always say that, like, let's get down to business. Let's actually fucking train, like, doing that type of stuff.
I want to know more about you as well, though,
Yeah.
because you're a young guy,
I'm
36 years old.
32.
32.
32.
Well, that's even
32.
worse, right?
And
Because
you-
he's so smart at 32.
You got a lot of letters after your name.
Yeah, right. How did it all start for you? Let's kind of give us a brief sort of.
Yeah, so I'll make it quick, but overall, small town, that's where I grew up in, Romeo, Michigan. You know, I definitely wasn't in a lot of team sports per se, but I did the independent or the intramural type of things, you know, playing with friends and all of that. My big sport that I played was actually lacrosse. So, you know, I had an option to go play college lacrosse, but I decided I wanted to go a little bit more of the academic, focusing on those types of things, continuing education. So I went to Oakland University, got a degree in exercise science, kind of really started interning at that time, working with a lot of the athletes that they had for the the basketball team, the baseball team, the volleyball players, and really kind of to dive deep into that. Then I went and got a master's degree, worked for a private sector company, doing stuff in education. So I actually had a really early experience of working with young personal trainers, teaching them to literally get certified and what the human body's all about. Like, how do we actually program for people and what literally everything means. And then I decided to get a PhD, and then when I actually got my PhD,
why not?
Hey, it is what it is.
It's just another few letters.
It is. But overall, I enjoy academics. I enjoy teaching people. I'm very fortunate, to have the knowledge that I have, but I want to make sure people understand what training's really about and how we can actually approach it for, like, overall a smart training session. I always want people to be smart with their training as much as possible. It's like, everyone's battling injuries. Like, we all have like, hey, my shoulder hurts. Well, it's just like, how can we train still, but making sure that we're getting the main focus, that KPI.
It sounds to me you're involved with a lot of this sports programming. So it's on another level, because sports programming in general isn't, I know we all kind of take it for granted this information's been around for a long time, and maybe it has, but the digestibility of it is fairly new in the way people are presenting it now to make it sort of applicable. Is that a good way of looking at it?
Yeah, I mean, overall, it's like, I'm affiliated with the NSCA, the National Strength and Conditioning Association, so I am actually the Michigan State Director, so kind of helping out, involved the clinics, the continuing education events, so working with that team and just overall having the exposure of the network of people that you have at your hand. I've always said, it's not just me that have learned all the things, so it's like, it's all the network of people. It's like, they've taught me stuff, looking at the other professionals, looking at the other scholars, and that's what I've always tried to really strive on. It's just like young professionals, try as much as possible just to learn as much as you can, because that's going to help you become a better coach, a better trainer, so that you can literally, anyone that walks into your door, you know how to train them in a sense. So it's like, you don't necessarily just have one philosophy. Don't get me wrong, I have like my approach and how I program it, but it's being able to take something from other philosophies and other methods and all of that to use it for your clients in the end.
Show off. Show off.
Well, it's awesome to feel your enthusiasm about it, because I mean, that's what people need to show. What it's what do they say? People don't care about what you know till they know you care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then they're interested in learning what you have to offer, and you can just feel your enthusiasm about what you know, and for people, and to get that information across to them. So we need more people like you.
You need to have passion.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, hands down, it's a struggle. I mean,
you got all that education to give back to other people.
You try,
right?
But yeah, it's like I'm super actually proud that you said that. I'm happy that you said that, because you need to have passion. It's like, I love working with people, I love training people, and it's like, hands down, that's one of the biggest things that you really need to focus on, is just loving what you do, because at the same time, I actually view every day that I work, it's not work to me, it's just, I do it.
Like, it sounds like you really love it. You're in Romeo, you said now, right?
Rochester Hills, but I'm from Romeo.
You're from Romeo.
Yeah.
Well, see, I'm liking this already, because I'll be able to pick this guy's brain like on a daily basis. Do you work? You also coach.
Yep.
And your girlfriend, wife, still coaches as well.
Yep.
Former NPC bikini competitor.
Yes.
So do you work with a lot of athletes currently?
So we kind of stopped over the years. So
Okay.
she competed for a couple of training overall competitions, and then as we started to open up our business, the brick and mortar as a two-person team, it took a lot out of us. So we kind of made the executive decision to be like, you know what, let's move forward. She wants to go back into it, but we used to coach a lot of actually girls throughout all the NPC and everything, and then over the years we kind of stemmed towards like that education and more of like the athletic population and everything. I always say everyone's an athlete, but it's like more like the sports, the basketball, and all that over the years.
There's a bit more work involved in that, though, isn't there? Where you don't want to spread yourself thin with the information.
Oh yeah, it's like, even at the same time, it's like we're starting to get overall. This is a good problem to have, but we already kind of have our schedules full.
Yeah.
And now we're trying to grow as much as we can in our business, so trying to find the coaches that actually have the passion, like you just mentioned.
Right. The work ethic.
It is.
Right.
It's hard.
It's hard to find good workers now that want to work.
Yes.
And like you said, they don't look at it just like a job, but it's a career.
Yes.
It's their lifestyle, and they want to share that lifestyle. It's fine. It's hard to find that kind of person that doesn't look at it like, oh, I just need to make $1.
Right? Like, I'm just here to like teach one class and I'll be done. But it's like, we we want people to actually like want to be able to work and build a clientele. Just because if you love this industry, it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, oh, I got 20 different clients that are all reaching out to me on day one. You gotta it's gonna take time.
Well, I would think that it'd be really amazing to be able to work for you guys, because to be able to learn from you, like to be an intern, I think that would be amazing. Because I'm a learner. I love to learn. And I always thought, I never had the opportunity, but I always thought it'd be cool to be an intern with somebody like yourself that has that education, that passion, and be able to learn. Because I got into what I did, and I just moved into this business, but I never worked for anybody. I never went interning for anybody.
It might be a good thing, though. That might be a good thing. I'm not saying working for yourself, I'm not gonna lie, it has its purpose.
Well, I mean, as far as if I had that opportunity to go back in time and have that kind of lifestyle too, to learn from somebody, I think it'd be really amazing. So hopefully you've got people that are seeing that, like, oh, I want to come work for you guys, so that they can learn the business, learn the education piece, and have the experience of working with you in person and seeing how you do things.
So we do work with actually interns from time to time. It just really depends on the semester. But Oakland University, since I teach at Oakland Community College, we get students from there that actually are wanting to be a trainer or say a sports medicine. They want to be a chiropractor. They want to be a physical therapist. So we're working with them on a semester basis and everything. But yeah, we try. I mean, I've always said, even though it's like an intern and potentially they're in the future of their career, or their youth of their career, I try to learn from them too, just because they might know something that I have never heard of. I'm like, whoa, all right.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. So learn from even interns as much as possible.
Let me ask you a question. This is sort of maybe a theme, right? With the type of information that's available out there, and kind of social media sort of bastardizing it a little bit, right? And it's coming from your perspectives where you're really trying to educate. What are some of the bigger things that you see, like people making mistakes out there with the information that they're taking in?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, don't get me wrong, like social media, it has its perks. Like, it's like, I'm not just from I'm 32, I've been in the field for 16, 15 years or whatever it is, but like I've seen things on social media that I'm like, oh, damn. Like, oh, cool, that's a cool movement. I've actually never thought to do that type of stuff. So it's like movement-based.
There's that side of it, yeah.
And it's like overall, but it does have its shitty purposes. You're like, damn it, no, don't do that. So it's like coming from that, I try to be as evidence-based practice as much as possible. Like, going into graduate school, getting the PhD, the master's degree, it was like trying to get evidence to support all my claims. And it's like, there is a lot of evidence out there. Other scholars that have published stuff that you're like, oh, like cool. Oh, so there is research that supports my 12 repetitions, my 10 repetitions, and utilizing that.
Right.
So.
Well, I think the epidemic really is everybody's a coach.
Right.
That is true.
And an athlete.
Right.
I mean, I don't know how many times I get so-and-so does exactly what you do, and I'm like, okay, because we're blonde and we got muscle. Like.
Right. Which isn't a bad thing.
I mean, it takes a lot.
I think, Joe, you and I are going to be in a competition with Michigan versus Texas.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Oh.
It came up in my mind a few minutes ago. I wanted to mention this.
Okay.
We've had 2 people now from Michigan, right?
Yes.
Yep.
We're going to get some more Texas people sitting in this seat.
Okay, fair enough. 2-0 right now. Good luck.
Oh, competition.
We're going to
that's
work
right.
this out.
We're competitive. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's really.
He's over here gloating about Michigan.
Hey, but Michigan, we know how to get it done.
Well, I didn't even. It's like I set this
done.
up and I didn't. Stephanie Jones was here from Michigan. She's
Nice.
making the finals for Fitness Olympia tonight.
Nice.
Yeah, I know, it's great.
Hey, Michigan, we got a lot of good people.
We do.
Amazing people all around. So.
Yeah, well, you're just being now politically correct. That's not true. Michigan's best.
So what do you have next after the Olympia?
Yeah, so overall, we're just going to spend some time. Actually, we got married here in Las Vegas in November of 2019.
Chapel of Love?
I forgot what it was. One of the small little chapels.
Okay.
So we actually came out here for a fitness conference, and we decided to get married back in November 2019.
Nice.
That's
So
awesome.
we're gonna. This is kind of like technically our anniversary in a sense. So we're going around, just having good dinners and everything, and then we'll take off on Sunday.
Nice.
That's awesome. Well, wonderful to have you here.
Absolutely.
And then Links Fit.
Yep.
Is it linksfit.com?
Yep. Link-fit.com.
Okay. That's how people can find you. And do you have an event schedule there that people can see where you're maybe teaching, coaching, or is it?
Overall, so I post a lot of my social media, that type of stuff. When I got my upcoming presentations, anything that I'm involved in, social media, my email marketing, and all that type of stuff.
There.
posted on our website as well. So we try to be as interactive as
Yeah,
possible.
sounds great.
And I have one more question. Are you going for any more education to get some more numbers or letters behind your name?
Right.
So I'll be honest with you. I've been dabbling over the last couple of years.
You got it. Yeah.
Dabbling.
But it was a master's in business administration.
Oh.
So me as owning a business,
Boring.
I kind of wanted to learn a little bit more. I
Yeah.
haven't
Okay.
started it. So that's the perk of actually being an academic. So I teach. I'm actually
Yeah,
a faculty
yeah.
member at a couple different places. You actually get free education. So I can actually take courses.
Oh, that is true. Yeah, yeah.
So it's like I thought about just taking a couple business courses, but I don't know. I'm getting pretty comfortable now. I don't know if I want to go have that other 2-year program. It took a lot. It took me 5 years to get my PhD, and it took a lot of effort. So I think I'm done.
Yeah, take a break for a while. Yeah, enjoy yourself. Hey, listen,
Well,
but anytime you want to get on a great podcast in Michigan, just saying,
Absolutely.
plugging, yeah.
Look up
The Gym Life Podcast, come on
Yeah,
out.
let's do it.
Yeah, all right, sounds good.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming, Doc.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much. Hopefully you guys learned something, and stay tuned.
Yeah,
That's right. All right,
Thank
guys,
you.
we'll be back with some more awesome interviews here at the Monica Brant Show. Don't go anywhere. See you in a little bit. Woo!
Testing, testing, testing. Yep.
Good.
Testing for you,
Yay.
Nathan.
Testing.
Yep.
All right.
Oh, hey. Hey, we're live here. We're live at the Olympia Expo here at the Venetian in beautiful Las Vegas for a wonderful event. And I need to introduce this guy because he's in my wheelhouse, and I like to own that. That's the strength community. If you don't know who this guy is, he's a nutritional guru worldwide, has trained some of the most amazing strength athletes in the world, including 7 times world's strongest men.
Yes.
Professional athletes of all sorts, Nathan Payton.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah, this is awesome. Really, truly is awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Nathan, you've been training strength athletes. Well, I'll let you tell us how long, but as far as I know, it's longer than I've been in the strength sports.
Longer than you've been alive.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I mean, although he does have the gray beard going.
I am old as dirt, as evident by the wizard thing.
Yeah.
But, I would say about 15 years with, as far as being heavily in with the whole strongman and working with the athletes. The last 14 years in a row at World's Strongest Man and won 7 in that time. So I'm nervous about this coming year because I don't want to screw up my 50% winning odds because that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
But
yeah, your reputation will just be shot if you don't win it.
Over
yeah.
the 50%, not under the 50%.
Yes.
Man, that's quite an accomplishment.
But it's the guys though. I'm blessed that I've managed to achieve some things and guys take notice and then they want to pull me into their world as well, and I'm kind of blessed to be able to be in that and work with those types of athletes. Because it is a lot of athletes. You're talking 30 to 40 guys every single year that show up to World's Strongest Man over those 14 years.
Yeah.
That's a lot of human beings
It is.
in 14 years, and have won 7 out of that amount of bodies is a blessing.
It really is.
And you must really know what you're talking about and how to help these guys not just get ready for that event, but to stay healthy enough to do
Yes.
it.
Yeah, that's a biggie. When you're talking athletes that are 6'8", 400 plus pounds.
Wait.
And
6'8".
Yes.
Okay, 6'8".
400 plus.
400 plus pounds. Like, we can't just, gloss over that.
No, and that one of those guys is right down there, by the way, Brian Shaw.
Yeah. Is right down the hallway, right there.
That's like giants.
That's like 7 of you, Monica,
Yes.
honestly. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you're talking about being that large and already,
charge.
and then throwing 1,000 pounds on your back and running with it,
Wow.
that's an unfathomable amount of weight in motion at any given point in time. So there's a lot of pressure on those bodies from a cardiovascular standpoint, a blood pressure standpoint. So you've got to always be one step ahead with understanding the impact that a blood pressure is going to produce on a deadlift of 1,000 pounds on a 400-pound athlete.
Yes.
And you've got to be a step ahead to be compensating for that on something that large.
And it's, I would say, although you've been at it for quite a few years now, I think it's really more recently that people are applying this type of science to strength sports.
Yes, and they call me the old man or whatever of strongman because when I first got involved in the sport, like I said, about 15 years ago, they'll all say it. The old timers of the sport, there was no such thing as nutrition.
Yes.
It was eat anything, eat everything, and add ice cream on top of all that.
Yes.
At all times.
You can't beat up the ice cream.
Yes.
So I was the one, through my buddy Ryan Bracewell, who lives next to me, and he was in pursuit of this crazy sports strongman trying to be a pro. And it was through our journey together and him introducing me to Travis Ortmeyer that was
great guy.
the big name that got me into the sport.
Really? Wow.
But it was the culmination of that and Ryan and Travis both being emphatic about, listen to this weird little man over here saying we should eat healthy and stop all this other stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll perform better. And so it was bringing that into the sport, and then it's kind of grown from there. When the guys start winning, the other guys want to do that.
Take note,
Yes.
right?
And the longevity. Look how long Brian's career is.
Absolutely.
you know, and so the other guys that I have, they're in the same path and the same trajectory to want to do that, like Brian, and follow in those footsteps of that longevity and success.
Yeah, you know, I was having a conversation earlier with Steve over there and Chad and even Nick, of course, as a part of that group over there with Brian. And really, we're watching strength sports become generational now because of smart nutrition. Guys are lasting longer.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and they're all perfect examples over there. I mean, the days of dirty bulking are over.
Yep, absolutely. You know, and
Did you say
dirty bulking. Yeah.
I thought you said dirty bulking.
Yeah, I tried that. It doesn't work anymore. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tried it, but you know, sometimes when you're just not thinking and
You
you're
just
like,
eat everything, yeah.
dirty
Well, the
bulking.
old adage used to be eat a lot, grow, and you're going to get stronger, right? I mean,
right. But that's where it got tricky because let's say an 800-pound squat on a 400-pound man's back, that's 1,200 pounds going up and down. Wouldn't you rather put 850 on the squat and 350 on the body for that same 12?
Sure, yeah.
So it's that same kind of thing, but that also still translates like Stoltman and Brian, where you can be 400, 430 and run around now with 1,500 pounds on your
I
back.
like that run around.
Crazy,
So-
I know,
Run
right?
around. Just
It's
run
crazy.
around.
Run around with
Wow.
1,500 pounds. And that's truly what's happening.
Yeah.
We're watching the evolution of strength sports reach levels in such a short period of time that I don't think any of us ever fathomed what's possible, maybe including yourself. I mean, yeah.
Well, no, and you see how much faster all of them are getting, including the big man. You know,
Yeah.
like Martins. You know, he's very fast, very athletic, very
Yeah.
flexible.
Yeah.
You know, and you see that a lot with a lot of the younger guys, and Tom also being that 6'8", 6'9" range, but also being very athletic and flexible. Not just big men.
Yeah.
You know, standing and
Yeah.
picking up a heavy deadlift or standing and doing a log. They're all unbelievably athletic.
Yeah, that's true.
So Nathan, what is your background? Like, how did you get into this?
Background is just, again, nutrition through school. I've also gone through Duke's program and health and wellness coaching and stuff to get the mental aspect to help kind of put in all that as well through Duke University. So a lot of that comes in play because when you're trying to get through to an athlete and make something important, you can't just say, so you'll do better. You have to apply it to something in their life, and they're going to miss lifts. You know, so as many big lifts as people see, behind the scenes when they're training, I'm getting texts panicking because they missed a lift.
Yeah.
So it's a constant process of the mental and the nurturing and just understanding how to get in and make individuals perform at the very best that they can, physically and mentally.
Yeah, we're
There's a
seeing that
skill
more and
set.
more.
There's
Yeah.
a skill set. Did you compete as well in any?
Hell no, look at me.
Well, I meant like back in the day sometime.
Your
no
basic
competitions?
health and fitness, you know, basic bodybuilding is a hobby, never anything competitive. Strength, a little bit with powerlifting,
Yeah.
yes. But again, we revert back to look at me. So you kind of realize it's like if my goal had been as an NBA player.
Yeah.
At some point, I needed to get realistic with myself and say, self, maybe that's not exactly the avenue you want to be. So you need to get involved in the sports
Yes,
that
yes.
interest you in some other way.
Yeah.
You happen to be kind of good at figuring out food or with biology, maybe do that.
Yeah,
So-
no, I agree. Yeah, I'd say you chose the right path, Nathan.
Yes.
Yeah, but to be clear,
Wow.
you just don't train the world's strongest men. I saw your client list. It's quite diverse. I mean, you have professional athletes in all sports, and of course, amateur strength athletes as well.
Yes, and everything from bikini and figure and fitness
yeah.
to, NFL, Saquon Barkley. I worked with him a couple
Yeah.
years ago. Actresses, musicians.
Wow.
So hell, I worked with the manager of the band Kiss, Bill Aucoin, prior to his passing
Nice.
a few
Yeah.
years ago. So it's all over the table. And I also work with a lot of diabetics because insulin is kind of my thing as far as manipulating
Oh.
and enhancing. Yes.
I've been learning over this, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been learning this last 10 years of my life that, and I never really understood this before, but just that how important insulin really is to being healthier, diabetes, and controlling that through what we eat and maybe fasting or, the
Yep.
keto style eating with more fats instead of more carbs, and just understanding that, and then understanding how to relay that to the people too, because is that true? Like, it's kind of that's
Absolutely.
the main thing.
It doesn't matter what kind of diet someone does. The results ultimately of that diet will be governed by their ability to control and manipulate their insulin response in reaction to that particular diet. There's so many things when it comes to enhancing your insulin sensitivity, and so many things that reduce your insulin sensitivity, your levels of stress, your levels of sleep, your hormone levels. I mean, all these things have a direct impact, and ultimately at the end of the day, insulin is the storage hormone for the body for all things.
Yes.
The more of it that's active and able to function, the more your results are going to be. It's the key. Your insulin receptors are the door. You got to unlock that door for all the nutrients to get flooded in by the insulin. So it's everything.
But that would be the body's natural ability to create insulin, not necessarily how they're treating diabetics now, right? The diabetes 2 anyways.
Yes.
Right, where they're trying to give them more and more insulin, and you're like, no, they need less insulin to be healthier, right?
100%. Okay. The physicians,
the
mentality got lazy, and it was
Yeah.
feed the drugs, not feed the person.
Right.
If you feed the person first, you put the drugs in for what the person cannot handle.
Yes.
It's that simple. They've got it ass backwards. So
I think that's what I've been learning the last 10 years, like really understanding how fasting works, why it works, how it works for an athlete versus someone that's obese maybe, and then being able to implement it into like my lifestyle. And I know it's not for everyone every moment of the day, but I find it's a really amazing tool to be able to utilize for insulin control.
Absolutely, 100%.
How do you apply your coaching practices to your? I know it's unique to the individual. How hands-on are you with your coaching?
Extremely.
Yeah.
And it's kind of unique to the individual. Some guys need me constantly.
Yeah.
Some guys, they need it more sporadically, like every week or so.
Oh, gotcha.
As far as the contact, the plan, the direction, and the execute.
Yeah.
Some want that constant, day-to-day. Depends on how in tune they are, and it depends on the personalities.
Sure.
Some are really intense and really overly aware. Some are more laid back, and so I got to navigate what's best for each person.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet we could sit here and keep talking.
I've got about 20
talking.
questions in
know,
my head right now, and I'm just holding them back.
You all need to be on Jim Live Media sometime. Like,
yeah, we
Absolutely.
do. I've got so many questions
get him
for
on
you.
there,
Yeah.
and I know I would love to sit and talk and hear more too. But
It's great
man,
information.
it's Olympia. They're like pulling us in every direction here.
Absolutely.
Yes,
They won't let us just sit and talk.
I know it. It's such good stuff.
So
Thanks
good.
for joining us. This has been
So
awesome.
good.
Appreciate you both.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, Nathan, thanks so much for joining the Monica Brant Show. And you guys make sure you check Nathan out. How can they find you?
Pro Body Coach is on Instagram, or you can go to nathanpayton.com.
Yeah,
Simple,
right. Oh, and he's
easy.
everywhere, by the way. Everybody knows who
just
Nathan
like
Payton
that.
is. Yeah.
So awesome.
Everybody.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Nathan.
Awesome.
Appreciate it.
Thank
All
you.
right, guys, we'll see y'all in the next one.
That's awesome. Check to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He wants you to try your...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All right. I'm here. I can start it off.
What? You got it?
All right, guys, we are here back at the Monica Brant Show. I'm your host, Monica. We've got co-host, the Mighty Joe at Gym Life Media.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest today, Dr. George T. So excited to have our doc in the house. Again, I got to talk to you at the Arnold. It was a pleasure getting to visit with you. And you're here with the Olympia University, but you're also here doing a ton of photo shoots, and you look amazing. You were on stage recently. You are a testament to good health and longevity, and I'm so impressed with everything you're doing.
Thank
and
you.
you look great. You always,
Thank you.
you know, one thing about Dr. T is you always dress so sharp.
Yeah, I try to bring some class.
You do. He is always dressed.
I thought
so
he was like
classy.
I thought he was an Venetian executive when he was walking around.
He is.
Yeah, like he owned the place.
He owns the place. When he walks in, Dr.
Yeah.
T owns everything. I mean, your skin looks great. You're in impeccable shape, and I don't know. I'm just bragging now about it.
Yeah.
It's about anti-aging.
It's part of the aging.
Anti-aging.
Anti-aging. That's
Yes.
right. That's right. And of course, you brought me your special
Olive oil.
olive oil all the way from Greece.
Yes.
Special stuff, guys. This is the
Good stuff.
one of the tips, right? One of the ways to
The
stay
secret,
young.
yeah, for the cardiovascular health, for the good skin.
How often are you using this?
I consume this every day.
How much?
A large spoon, always, and I start my day by dripping a slice of whole grain bread into this in order to get some energy and fuel, but it's rich in polyphenols, which are antioxidants, that lower the LDL, they protect the vessels, okay? So I rather eat this rather than, for instance, peanut butter.
Right. I love that. So, I don't know, Joe, you've been following Dr. T a little bit and what he's doing with his studies and his...
Well, testosterone studies, yeah, obviously, because it's become such a big thing now in our culture that I'm recognizing now, being a little bit older, that a lot of what we're seeing happen is really taking shape over the last 10 or 12 years with the amount of information that's being shared about how much of an effect it has on longevity, health, and really aging.
Right.
And I think it's becoming now more mainstream, it seems. But I guess one of the big questions I've always had is more or less not necessarily the abuse of it, but the information that's getting out there that isn't accurate. And I know watching your seminars, it's really opened my eyes to a lot of the truth. And it just
The truth.
yeah, and
Right,
kind of
getting the truth
it
out
took
about
away
it.
a lot of sort of like the things that social media is making up about testosterone, TRT replacement and usage, that sort of thing. I mean, can you kind of give us just a little bit of a backstory on how this has sort of evolved for you and kind of where you started and where your philosophies come today?
So personally, I'm following replacement therapy since 2014 when I retired from bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deny I was using...
Wait, you said you retired from bodybuilding?
Yeah, right?
As an athlete, 2013.
I mean, he just was on stage recently.
I know,
like,
right? Yeah,
Just
yeah.
recent.
I mean, I did for photo shooting, but
That's
I
just for
retired
fun,
from
though.
stage. Yeah. So I'm not going to deny that I was using compounds in order to enhance my performance.
Yeah.
Okay. And after I retired at the age of 40, I became in a state of low testosterone.
Right.
That means hypogonadal, all right?
Yeah.
So I faced the facts and I saw that I couldn't restart my own production. Plus the fact we age because our hormones decline.
Yes.
So a man hits the middle age crisis at the 40s, and then every year annually the testosterone declines 1%.
Yes.
So I went to my mentor, finding my mentor in Italy, my alter ego, Dr. Massimo Spatini. We started using testosterone from 2015, 7 years now in a row. And it's about optimization and replacement the levels to youthful state, okay, of teenagers. It's not about abuse, it's nothing about super physiological doses.
Right.
So there's a misconception from the doctors, and they demonize, and they have a lot of prejudice and skepticism because they blame testosterone as an anabolic steroid. That's actually the main androgen. So men cannot live without androgens as women cannot live without estrogens.
Right.
But most of all, it's about replacement and having optimized levels.
Right.
So it's not, let's say, abusing testosterone to get jacked, but to be physically and mentally healthy.
Yes.
That's another thing. Of course, the body composition improves, but this is not the priority. The priority is to avoid diabetes, metabolic syndrome, obesity, depression, muscle wasting, anemia, fatigue, fragile bones, osteoporosis. And usually, low testosterone is linked to higher mortality. And I have to tell you, in the ICU, all the victims of COVID were of low testosterone. All of them.
Wow.
Wait, can you say that again? Because I couldn't hear you over here.
In the ICU of the COVID, okay, all of the victims were of low testosterone. All of them.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
There were people over 70 in bad shape, and they give you a stack of steroids, catabolic steroids, which is cortisone. You have all this stress, and your testosterone goes down. And statistically, the men that enter the ICU with low levels of testosterone have higher mortality rates. If you enter the hospital eugenetic, it's more likely to survive.
Yeah.
Why? Because as testosterone goes down, you develop visceral fat.
Yeah.
The visceral fat releases inflammatory cytokines that participate in the cascade of the COVID inflammation. So low T, you're screwed.
Yeah. How are we seeing the effects of low testosterone more in men at a lesser age than we ever have from outside influences nowadays? We talk about guys in their early 30s now with testosterone tests very, very low.
It's a fact that the new generation lives a sedentary lifestyle with lousy nutrition.
Yeah.
All they do is video games. They lack of physical activity. They don't eat organic foods. They are insomniac. They have a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And actually, this generation has lower testosterone than our generation, and our generation lower than our parents, and our parents than our grandparents.
Yeah.
So it's all the way down, okay? So literally there's extinction of the male.
I was going to say, that evolution in society is a de-evolution, really, that's taking place.
Yes.
It's amazing to me, and that's what I got from listening to some of your seminars. Very eye-opening, because we often associate testosterone with physical, the getting stronger, getting bigger. Our culture kind of dictates that, certainly around here.
Right.
But that's really not what we're talking about.
Right.
That is just an effect of it if you're doing things and getting your levels back up to where they need to be
Exactly.
to operate at a state of homeostasis that
Precisely.
allows you to be feeling good again, right?
So I've been on a hormone replacement therapy with a gentleman that runs a company, owns a company out of Chicago, so everything's online. And I use it. So I use a topical that's an amount for a woman, and I've been on that for probably the last almost 10 years now.
That's testosterone, right?
Yeah. And a progesterone. So.
Estrogens also.
Pardon?
Estrogens also, DHEA.
Yeah. So. Right. A DHEA as well. And then I've had a lot of women come and tell me, well, I'm now taking the pellet, so there's all this different ideas of what is the best form to get. So do you have I know you have an opinion, but can you share your opinion on what is the best form, or does it depend on the person?
Yeah, usually we use transdermal testosterone applied in the skin on a daily basis, and this has the benefit.
So the topical
here,
right.
over the wrists, forearms, or down the scrotum. Now the benefit of this is, number one, steady levels. Every day you take your dose. You don't have fluctuations. Right. Number two, you avoid injections, pinning, and blood.
Right.
For some people that are not familiar with the injection thing, they don't come from the bodybuilding community, this is more evitable, okay?
Right.
It's easier to follow.
Well, that's what I've been doing, is the topical like that. So
well, there's no injectable estrogen, for instance, or progesterone for women. So women HRT just creams and orals and pills. Now, there's also the injectable for the men, and the new protocol that comes from the West, from the States, it says microdosing frequently rather than doing larger doses less apart, okay? And this has to do also with the half-life and the frequency to avoid fluctuation of the metabolites.
Yeah.
More steady levels.
Does subcutaneous now is becoming more of a thing in the culture as well. What are your thoughts on that?
The benefit of the subcutaneous is that you avoid the scar tissue.
Yeah, okay.
Because you inject into the fat. The point is, if you're super lean, let's say below 10%, and you have a six-pack, you create some lumps of oil when you inject oil into the fat. Okay. But apart from this, the disadvantage of the subcutaneous is that it's not that rapidly absorbed. Just if it goes straight to the bloodstream into the muscle. Okay. Okay?
Yep.
Like the intramuscular.
Yes.
So it will reach eventually the bloodstream, but slower.
Gotcha. But if you're doing it regimented, like you said, every day, eventually that curve gets to where it needs to be.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, amazing. This is amazing.
I know, he's got a lot of information.
I love it. Yeah.
And I know you have some information on women and training with weights and why it's so important for women to train with weights.
This is the philosophy we have to implement, because it's, if I have to decide between walking on a treadmill and lifting weights, for fat loss, lifting weights is better because it tones your body, it sculpts your structure, but mostly it boosts your metabolic rate by building muscle. And muscle is the #1 caloric expenditure tissue in the body, okay? Just walking doesn't boost the BMR unless it's high intensity, all right? So women are afraid to bulk, but the point is, only if you get fat, you bulk, okay?
Right, right.
That's why bodybuilders have tiny midsections, because they are low in fat. So fat doesn't occupy space, the muscle occupies.
I like that. Fat doesn't occupy space.
I'm sorry.
Space. Yeah.
That's why you have the meat taper.
Well, you'd mentioned you've been on testosterone for about 10 years through the cream. However, it's kind of a new. It's not really been recognized by a lot of women.
Right.
It's more recently been talked about.
Right.
Are you seeing more of that come your way as far as testosterone usage in women and requirements?
Listen, usually we don't apply androgens to women, but women as men need a little bit of the opposite hormones for better sex drive. Besides, in women, testosterone matures the bones. Okay. Because it's converted to estrogen that also favor the mineral density, but also testosterone reabsorbs calcium, and calcium feeds the bone. Yeah. Women need testosterone, but a very tiny
microdosing.
0.5%.
Yeah. Because often you don't associate women with testosterone, but
But also you can use DHEA that converts to testosterone. Okay. And it's a safer approach.
I got you. Okay. Yeah.
So Dr. T, when are you speaking at the university, or have you already?
I just gave a lecture today on the importance of the muscle tissue as a metabolic regulator.
Just what we just talked on.
If you lack of muscle, you develop diabetes, obesity, metabolic syndrome that lead to cardiovascular disease. You're more vulnerable to immunity issues. And tomorrow there's a round table with Rick Collins, the attorney.
Oh, yes.
Speaking about the steroid culture.
Yes, I would love to get to that, honestly.
I know, right? I know there's so many great speakers at the university that I wish we could do both.
Next time we'll make it a point.
Right?
We'll get those media passes and we'll get in there so we can watch these guys.
We won't be interviewing anyone then.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We'll be learning. Thank you.
So, Dr. T, one last thing. You've got a book out.
Yes.
Yeah, the Bible of bodybuilding.
The Bible of bodybuilding.
Yes.
And you did an edit. It was an edit coming.
I'm gonna edit this on January with extra Q&As. So I'll give you a new copy of the Arnold. Yeah. And Alex Ardendi do the photo shooting.
Yeah.
That's right. And how many photo shoots have you done just this week? Was it with
Alex Ardendi and Per Bernal?
Per Bernal.
Now the Per Bernal picture will be on the February issue of Muscular Development, and a small portion on the cover also.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yes.
I tried very hard, 1 year now to be in shape again. And Per is an artist.
Oh, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the old school photographers are just unbeatable. Like, I loved all of them. There were so many. There's about 5 or 6 that are just really the staple. And Per and Alex. Alex was one of my first photo shoots ever, '94, for the bodybuilding fitness industry.
You had with Milos and Frank Seppi and Alex photo shooting.
Yes. Yeah, really good. Well, it's so awesome to get to see you again. It's been fun keeping up with all of your adventures. And I bet Greece is just beautiful.
Oh, boy. Wow.
That would be an amazing,
plus great food.
Amazing place to come visit. So.
It's good for the summer, yes.
Yeah.
Good for the summer. Awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Dr.
Quite an
T.
honor. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to come back. with some more awesome interviews here in the Monica Brant Show.
Yep.
Bye.
That's awesome. 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Wow,
All
we
right,
can all
there
count.
you go.
We can all count. All right, we are back live on the Monica Brant Show here at Olympia, and we are with the wonderful Mighty Joe. And
Yes,
Gym Life
thank you.
Media.
Yes.
And we've got someone very special sitting in the middle of us who likes to kind of be low key, but no low key for Bruce.
Okay.
We got Bruce Cardenas in the house, owner, relationship builder.
HMIF.
I mean,
HMFI.
What is
Anyhow,
it?
we'll let you figure
You'll
that
know
out.
what that means,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's
You've
better.
been in the business for a very long time, and you've been with a lot of wonderful companies. You've helped a lot of people get up and going, and of course, we could just sit here and stare at product all day long
Yeah.
over here and
Right.
hand out some good stuff. We got all the legendary foods here.
You can't beat that.
We can't. And everyone loves this product. Like, we need to know, Bruce, how is it so good?
Well, you saw the movie Willy Wonka, right?
Willy
No one
Wonka.
ever got past the gate, so no one really knows, but we have some good secret
Right,
stuff going
right,
on.
yeah.
Just like at Quest, people tried to always replicate us, but they couldn't. Yeah.
So, Bruce, talk about a little bit, if you don't mind sharing your background and how you got into the bodybuilding fitness industry.
So I was just a dumb kid from New Jersey who started powerlifting in high school. I was pretty strong naturally. I went in the Marine Corps. I was always going to be a cop, but the local chief of police said, go in the Marine Corps, and when you get out, I'll hire you. So I was like, that's a reason to get out of New Jersey. So I went in the Marine Corps, continued powerlifting, and I met some pretty famous guys in bodybuilding when I was in the Marine Corps. And I got out and joined LAPD, and then I competed against, I was still like went to the police Olympics and stuff. And
Did you say Police Olympics?
yeah, we used to have police Olympics.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you heard about that, Joe?
I did. I have heard about
Oh,
that.
they're,
Yeah.
they're national, and then of course every state has them too. The bench,
Okay.
from everything, bench press, powerlifting, track and field, all the
Yeah.
sports. It's crazy. I started a very successful bodyguard business, and serendipitously, I met the founder of Quest Nutrition, who goes by Quest creator Shannon, who you know,
Right.
and her husband Ron. I met her in the gym, and she gave me a couple bars, and I was like, these are pretty damn good. I saw her the next week.
They have such a great story.
That's amazing. I mean, she made the first 14 flavors in her kitchen, and so I saw her again, and I said, hey, I was doing some bodyguard work for someone, for the set of Extra, Mario Lopez.
Oh,
And I
it's
said,
Mario
hey,
Lopez.
yeah, just Mario. And I said, if you want to get me some product, I'll bring it on the set. I brought it on the set, and they're like, these are amazing. As a matter of fact, the second week he was on the show saying, I said, have you guys tried these Quest bars?
Really? Wow.
So
See, I didn't hear this part of the story.
yeah, so it kind of evolved, and then I was doing protection for Jessica Simpson and Mariah Carey, all these people, and I started being the bodyguard. Hey, by the way, my friends own this company, so I bring product.
Peddling Quest bars.
Oh, that's so
And-
fun. I
and
didn't know all this
So
part.
for 9 months, I helped them for free. And it wasn't like I was getting paid. I didn't need to get paid because I had my security business. And then Ron took me out to lunch one day and said, hey, you're doing more for us than we're doing for you. We're stealing. And you know
Right,
Ron's
right.
sense of humor, right?
Yes.
He said, we're stealing. We're going to put you on the payroll starting Friday. Do whatever you want to do with the money. Keep doing what you do with your day job. And then I really fell in love with the process. Their why, I'll tell you, whatever their why was, mine was more powerful than
Wow.
theirs.
Yeah.
They made great product, and it was so easy. And I already knew people in the bodybuilding space because I was I guess before I was a fanboy, right? I came to the Olympia on my own, my buddies, and followed all these guys from Samir.
What year was that?
That what I
When
was.
you got into Quest, what year was that?
At least 11, 12 years ago.
And you were
11 or
Pendleton
12.
out there in the Marine Corps? and
Yeah,
then-
no, actually, I went to Paris Island. I just stopped in Pendleton for a competition. I traveled the world.
Okay, so California wasn't necessarily home.
Yeah, it wasn't home, but I got discharged there, and I was processing to be a cop. So that's
Okay,
how I
gotcha,
became LAPD.
gotcha.
There's so much depth to
There's
this
a lot going on.
conversation.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
He's like spitting all this
Yes.
stuff out, and
Well,
we're like
we're-
wanting to pull.
I know.
Well,
and
and ask any questions, but I just started building relationships, and it came so organic. And I always tell people, life is about relationships, right? Even if you don't know anything about your business, just build relationships.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And that's what I did. And I always say this, I was the least qualified person to work in a nutrition company. I didn't go to school for food science or anything. I was just like, hey, they're low carb, high protein, and gluten free. And you know what? You're a bodybuilder, so you must like them.
Yeah.
Because they taste good, right? And that was it. And all of a sudden we're doing, forget the celebrity events or celebrity relationships I had. I was the only one that really wanted to go out and build relationships with like GNC and Vitamin Shop and bodybuilding.com. And I think for 5 years straight, I was the only person in the company that came to expos like this.
Wow.
Wow.
That's something.
Yeah, and so I literally, if you
It's
ask,
like you know everybody.
And I kind of-
everybody knows Bruce.
Well, the relationship building part I love the most, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm the most unqualified person to do a podcast. I always feel that way.
Right, yeah.
But I just love relationship building. So,
Yeah.
something good's bound to come out of that.
Yeah.
I think that's a perfect example.
Yeah, you just talk to people, right?
That's right.
And I always kept good relationships with all the athletes, even if they were, some of the other owners would get tense, like, oh, I work for Gaspari, so you can't talk to Quest. I'd be like, I would drop product off at Gaspari's booth or Metrics booth because the athletes wanted them, you know?
Yeah.
And they were always like, you're kind of a weird dude. Like, you're always trying to, like, there's almost an no. Like, why are you bringing your stuff into our booth?
Right.
But the athletes love it. So I think that's why I built a reputation. I want to share it with people, and it's great, you know?
Well, it shows. And, you are also really good at just communicating and being in touch. And, I appreciate that. And it's been awesome just to spend time with you at different events and mingle.
It's so cool in this industry, which you both have been a part of it much longer than I have, that the backstories aren't just with the athletes. It's with all the parts involved.
Right,
and Bruce is a perfect example of that.
Right.
It's really cool.
And I told people, I was interviewed a couple weeks ago, and they, I said, I was interviewing for our podcast, I said there's 52 weeks in a year. Probably the first 5 years I would release on the road at least 42 weekends a year.
Wow.
Wait, say that again?
So there's 52 weeks in a year, obviously, right? I said for the first 5 years at Quest, I was on the road 42 weekends a year. There was not a weekend. I would leave on a Thursday, go to if a bodybuilding, CrossFit, any kind of a strongman shows, and I'd be back in the office Monday. And I would tell people that's what it takes to build a business. Because people are like, well, can't I just work Monday through Thursday and
No, but it's, you know what? It's when you love what you do.
Yeah.
Not, we hear that all the time. When you love what you do, it's not really work. And,
that's right.
And I also heard one time from a leadership coach. He said at least 28 days a month you need to love what you do.
For sure.
A couple days you can take off.
Okay, that sounds
and
fair.
Not love it.
That sounds fair.
At least 28 days. And then if it's that, then it's not. It's just what it's your calling, right? It's not necessarily just a job.
Well, and you got to train moving down the track right now because this stuff is. This is the next level right here.
You can't keep the stuff on the shelf.
Yeah, this is not staying on the shelf, and I think we learned a lot from Quest to make this even better, right? And it doesn't hurt that way. The Quest guys built this, right?
Oh wow, I've chewed on them all day. And the only thing I wish I had now is a steak flavor. When's that coming out? Yeah.
There might be some unique savory kind of things in the future.
I like that. Yeah, all right.
There's a lot of cool things. I always tell people this: going to 7-Eleven and you see all those Hot Pockets and Twinkies. We are going to eventually have that replicated. So you'll go to a Super Bowl party and there'll be all the stuff that you wish you could eat, except it'll be there.
I love it.
We have like
I love it. Doesn't that sound great?
We have these chips coming out that are like taste like Pringles, but they're protein.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So and I think, I mean, listen, we all want to change how the world looks at food, right?
Right.
I mean, the reason is, I don't even know the percentage of obesity, but it's like ridiculous, right?
It's ridiculous. Yes.
And so if we could help just change it a percentage at a time, that's all we can do, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the good news is with this is we're able to trick kids.
Oh, for sure.
So a 6 or 7 year old will eat this and say it's pretty good. You're
My
like,
4.5-year-old loves these.
Yeah, because kids at
great.
Quest sometimes kids be like, that's a protein bar, but these, you're like, it's a win, right?
And then you get all the fun colors. So the colors really are outstanding. Your labels, the packaging, and it goes very well with your product. So it's a great combination, and I think people are drawn to that packaging too. So they're drawn to it.
Colorful.
It has to be good if it looks like this.
Right?
Are you involved in that? All that?
No, I mean we have a committee. People will pass it around and say, "What do you think?" Well, we changed some things when they submitted their original.
Okay.
But overall, I appreciate art, but I'd rather have someone else.
I got you. I'm with you.
But we all vote though, because there's sometimes it's interesting. I'll tell you real quick. At Quest, we launched blueberry flavor, right?
Right.
17 different people signed off it. Went out to market, and some customer took a picture and said, "How come you guys spelled it blurberry?" So there's a lot of eyes that look at packaging, right?
Oh my goodness!
Because a layperson may find something that an artist doesn't. So it happens.
How did that slip through?
Right?
Yeah, crazy.
Hey Bruce, what is your favorite thing about the bodybuilding and fitness industry?
It's a lifestyle, I guess. The mentality. Listen, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of discipline in that sport, and I live a disciplined life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of it, right? I mean, these guys. I've tried to do bodybuilding and diet. That's next level.
Truly
right?
next level.
That's why powerlifters can be kind of a little fat,
Oh yeah.
And eat some extra carbs. But I mean, think about it. It's a disciplined sport. And I think that's what I admire about it. It's a lifestyle. These are the one percenters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, we all sit at the same table in this industry. Bodybuilders and strongman, powerlifters, and we're all different members of the family.
Yeah.
And we all get together right here. So it's really a lot of fun.
But it's a great community. I mean, listen, I mean, it's really surreal when you're meeting guys, I mean, that are slightly older than me, and I'd had posters in my rec room.
Oh, right.
Like
yeah.
Samir won the '83 Mr. Olympia, and I was in the Marine Corps dreaming of, having a success.
That's great, yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Now I hang out with those guys.
Right.
Yeah, Samir was going to come by and try to get an interview with us, so we're hoping you'll swing by.
He'll be here tomorrow.
That's the way I feel about Monica. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I had all her magazines back when I did.
I did look at a few magazines that she was in.
Yeah.
Like Corey Everson and
Absolutely.
all these people that you're like, wow, now I know them as friends.
Right.
It's like, it's a
really
cool thing.
Keep in touch and see what's up.
And you remain relevant. That's what's really cool too. That it's not just it could be a generational sport,
I agree.
It has become that. And it certainly has become
right.
that. In large part because people like Monica and these others are still around. They're representing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's an honor to be. I always say it's an honor to be part of anything like this. It's a cultural thing, and I think if we could change a couple of these lives, but this is actually truly our core. When we built Quest, the bodybuilding community was our core.
Yeah.
And actually, there was a period of time when some of the marketing guys said, "Well, do we still need to do bodybuilding?" I'm like, "Huh? We will always be in bodybuilding.
Right. Yes.
We may go do other things and other verticals and healthy moms and all that stuff, which is cool, but we'll always be bodybuilding because bodybuilders. I always remind people." A good bodybuilder has 30 other coaches or people he's influencing or training.
Absolutely.
So it's a win-win, right?
Yeah. Touches a lot of people.
Yeah, it touches a lot of people.
Bruce, what is your favorite flavor?
Pepperoni. Oh, you're talking about the cinnamon. Cinnamon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And which is your least favorite?
Oh, I can't say that. It's like which one of your kids is your favorite?
That is true. Although I have a feeling you'd say that, Bruce.
Hey, I'm not being politically correct, but no, I will eat this every day.
Yeah.
Others I could skip.
I tell you, they all taste great with a cup of coffee in the morning. I'll tell you that.
And I'll tell you right now, the cinnamon roll, 15 seconds in a microwave with a cup of coffee.
Oh,
is
yeah.
life-changing.
Oh, it is really.
And really, here's the great thing. We just did a tasting the other day at the office because people came in and brought a bunch of the regular sweet rolls that you like Hostess and stuff. Ours actually, I'm not saying this because I'm there, they tasted better.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Well, we've been handing it out here and making sure that everyone's getting some product before they take off. So it's been awesome having Legendary Foods as a sponsor for the Monica Brant Show. And just really thank you for your support of what I'm doing and believing in me because this is a new adventure for me.
It's great.
And it's been really fun.
I love it. Thank you.
Of course, I really enjoyed being in the booth with you guys at the LA Fit
Yeah, that was
Expo.
really good.
That was cool.
We'll do that again.
Yeah, it was fun.
And we got tomorrow still yet anyhow, so a big day coming up.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
Bruce, thank you so
No,
much.
thanks. Can we take a picture?
Yeah, of course, of course. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to come back with some more awesome interviews here at the OLYMPIA.
Kathy.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3.
If you want to
sound
look
check that
here,
real
look at
quick.
me.
Check,
look
check,
at
1,
Joe.
2, 3.
We're gonna try and just make it so we're all kind of like conversating.
Sound check.
Check,
Hello.
check, 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 check.
Jennifer here.
Check, check, checkity, check, check. We're here live. We are live at the Olympia Expo here with the wonderful, beautiful ladies of Strong Magazine. Oh
Love
my
it,
gosh,
love it,
Joe.
love it, love it. I know, right?
All right, so we've got Joe, Mighty Joe here with Jim Light
Hello,
Media.
everybody.
Of course, I'm your host, Monica. And we've got the owner of Strong Magazine, woo,
Hi.
Jenny, and Catherine, who's the editor-in-chief of
thank
this
you.
beautiful magazine, which I'm so excited to see a hard copy magazine. Oh,
Yes.
like the release,
Hallelujah.
right? Like old school still here. I love it. And they're beautiful. Wow, I am so impressed. Jenny, tell us all about Strong Magazine.
Yeah, Strong is one of the only magazines that are still on shelves for women, and it's all about women empowerment, strength, women who lift, and just want to empower and support one another.
I love it. And you've been around for how many years now?
Since 2013.
Yes,
Yeah.
almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Next year, what month is the anniversary month?
Next year, yeah.
Yeah, it is. You know what? It's, I think, September. Yeah.
So
next
September,
year.
you're going to have a big celebration for your 10-year.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be
I
fun.
love it. I love it. Catherine, you're editor-in-chief. So how long have you been with the company now?
I actually just joined the Strong team in the spring of this year, so it's kind of been a new role that I jumped into. And it's been phenomenal being there, just being with the team. Everybody's got the same vision of what we want to see happen with the magazine, right? And supporting women at any level, whether you're a newbie, you're just getting started, or you're a pro and you want to level yourself up, we want to cover everybody's goals.
Well, I'm excited. So you guys have, Paul Busetta.
Yes,
Get a
our
little
chief
tongue-tied
photographer.
here after talking all day. So Paul Busetta, is he still your main photographer?
Yes, he's our chief photographer, and he's also part owner of the magazine and the founder of the magazine as well. So it started with his vision. My husband Vince Pay and I came in as partners about 2.5 years ago.
Okay, I haven't seen Vince in a long time.
He's gonna come and say hi to you.
I love
He
it.
misses
I
you.
love
He
it.
loves you so much.
That's fun. That's fun. I remember having some really good conversations with Vince back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe, what do you think? Strong Magazine.
Well, I love it. Listen, I think it's all about women's empowerment, right? And I get it. It sounds a little bit cliche because we hear that a lot, especially in this community, but it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have seen it happen over the last 10 years, the growth of women, empowerment and strength. But I'm from the strength community, so I see a lot of women now that are showcasing muscle and power.
Yes,
and it's a
I love
sexy
it.
and beautiful thing. And we love it. And as a man, I actually appreciate all those women in their categories more than I do actually men's categories.
Yeah.
I find it amazing what we're seeing out of women right now. Yeah, so I always say I'm toxically masculine feminist. I'm all about being
I
a man,
love
but I
that.
love women.
Yeah. It's incredible, and I think all of the women that we're talking to now, they're really talking about how fitness is saving them in all sorts of ways. It's not anymore just about how do I look in my bikini. It's mentally, it's saving me. Emotionally, it's saving me. And they found such success in all capacities by doing fitness, especially with the strength training. So we're really trying to
It's
focus on
become acceptable behavior, right?
Yeah.
To be a strong woman. And you know who it kind of started with? I don't want to point, but right over here. It's true. It is true.
It could have been more.
Yeah.
I
I say it all the time. It was a paradigm
She
when
was
Monica
on
came
oxygen.
around.
I remember I have some of your old issues, and you were such an inspiration because she was one of the first women I've seen with like muscle and feminine muscle and just stepping into her
You guys
own.
might get me all leaky-eyed.
Yeah.
It's so true.
And it starts. It might start with like picking up weights in the gym, but it's so much more than that. Like physical strength trickles into every aspect of your life.
Yes.
I've seen it with my clients. I've seen it with the girls in the magazine. It's like it's a trickle effect, and when you can take care of yourself in that way and gain strength, it trickles down into all aspects of your life, and you become clear with your vision, with everything that you want, your relationships, business, everything. And it starts with taking care of yourself first
I love it.
and
I
strength.
absolutely love it.
So when I moved to LA when I was 24, and I got involved with a sports agency out there. And then I started getting in the covers and the magazines and all that, right? Well, that sports agency would not allow me to use my covers with any of our auditions.
Wow.
Because it was, they said, well, it looks like, steroids and it's a bad, like it's a bad
Representation.
Bad, representation and stigma. So they didn't want me to use any of my covers for any of my like composites. Back then we made composite, your main picture, and then maybe your body shot on the back or whatever. And I'm like, well, can't we use muscle and fitness cover? And they were like, no.
Wow.
And back then muscle was just frowned upon, and so nobody really knew exactly what to do with my physique. Because I wasn't a bikini, like, skinny
Typical.
girl, right? And I wasn't a tall fashion girl. I was very athletic. So it was interesting. And nowadays, right, it has evolved so much now that, like, you see women, newscasters with their little sleeveless shirt and their muscles, and they're wearing that to showcase their hard-earned muscle.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's everywhere now. In fact, when I was, trying to do the beginning of the fitness and some of the mainstream stuff, like, they just were so frowned upon. And it's awesome to see where it's come now.
Absolutely.
And let us take this chance to also say thank you
Yeah,
for helping to pave the way.
Yeah,
No, really,
you paved the way.
for women who can
It's an
stand on
honor.
these covers now and feel confident and not shy away from being strong. It was because women like yourself boldly stood up and showed that. So thank you.
Thank you. It's an honor, and you get back to your life and you're just kind of doing your normal thing, and you kind of forget sometimes what you got to do when you were young. And I said get to do, right? Because I had no idea what I was getting involved with, and I didn't know anything about magazines, and it was such a unique experience of what I got to grow up in and help evolve, which we kind of talked on earlier.
Yeah.
It was like,
Yeah.
I had no idea moving to California what I was going to be doing. I was just kind of dabbling, and I thought, well, I can move out there and work as a waitress. I can, work. I was a Bud girl back at home, Budweiser, and the guys were like, oh, if you need to work out there, we can get you a job with the LA Budweiser team. I'm like, okay. But I started working right away with industry. Jantana, one of the, Jan, right? So, anyways, it's been fun to see all the stuff I got to do and where the industry has gone and the evolution of the women and the sport. And I mean, it's just so beautiful. And for you guys to have so many beautiful bodies photographed by Paul Busetta, like, do you remember my fem camps?
Yeah,
We used to
absolutely,
come to Toronto and work with Paul, and what an experience for those women to come to my event and get Paul to get to shoot them. Like, it was a dream come true for these women to show up, a 3-day deal, and then the last day they get to shoot with Paul Busetta. Like, they were just
He's
blown
also
away.
one of a kind in the industry.
Yes,
He's
he
very,
was
very
fun,
talented.
personable, loves the ladies like in a really heartfelt way, not like weird, but just like loved everyone. Everyone's equally important.
And I think he's so great at letting them shine in their own light, right?
Yes.
Whichever woman comes in, getting them to just stand strong in their own light. He does that for every girl who comes through the studio. He's great at
Some of my favorite pictures from Paul were taken the Saturday night of my event, black and white, like just
Yes, he's a master of black and white.
Just
Oh, they're beautiful. It's like
up on
art,
the
it's art
little
pieces.
classic.
platform
for
we
sure.
had, and just demonstrating what a photo shoot looked like for literally 5 minutes, maybe. That's some of my favorites. So good memories for sure. And I think right after that, he started bringing out Strong.
Yes.
In my fem camp, I had been doing for about 13 years, so it was like kind of ending that era. But it's so awesome. And it's fun to see you guys here.
Yeah, we.
So
Thank you for
I have a question because this is something we had talked about. We had a brief discussion before the interview. Is the idea that print is a beautiful thing.
it is.
And I'd love to see
touch
the
and feel
magazines that are
and hold.
surviving this weird time we're in right now. But you guys seem very confident about it, like I do.
Yeah.
I mean, in the idea that we're going to see a comeback here. And I don't know if you're making a comeback, but you're certainly weathering the storm.
Yes, there's nothing like holding a magazine or a book in your hands. But we look at it much more than just a magazine. We're building a strong community.
Yeah.
And this is one way that you can come, read about us, and connect with us. We have something called Strong Camps as well. That
Okay.
that's Strong Camps.
Ah,
And we hold them all over North America. So coaches who have coaching businesses or gyms, it's a great
So
way
this is
to,
just one component of this bigger
Yes,
picture, which I
yes,
love, of course.
yes,
Yeah.
It's like a piece of the pie, right?
I love it. Yeah.
It's learning how to connect with women on all those touch points. Yes, we're on our phone. Everyone's carrying this thing everywhere.
Sure, never going to go away.
Exactly.
No.
And we embrace that. We accept that. But it doesn't mean there's no place for print.
That's right.
There still is a place for print.
Yeah.
If you incorporate it into the wheelhouse, right? And just think of it that way. It's something to look forward to. And it's also a great way for people to separate themselves because this gets very noisy, right? And when you walk into a store and you can see yourself in print on a page, or your family member can pick that up, or your clients or whoever, it's also a way for a lot of women to separate themselves from what's happening.
I love it. Absolutely. I love it. I would love to be involved with you guys, do something fun together.
Absolutely.
We got to figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Can I ask you one important question?
Me too. I just want to come to the 10th anniversary.
Come to the 10th anniversary.
That's it.
We're going to do a big party. We just announced it. Tell me, what do you think is the most important conversation we should be having right now at this point?
What is what?
The most important conversation we should be having in fitness now. Like, what do you hope to hear about or read about or talk about?
Well, of course, I'm 52 now. And I got into sport when I was 19, right? And I think what I really feel is important for women is not just the body, but it's the mind, it's the spiritual, it's the heart, it's the total package that has to come together, and women have to understand that it's not just about weights, it's not just about food, it's a whole thing, you know, your emotional, your relationships, your spiritual journey, and really taking time for each section of your life. And I think, you know, as I've gotten older, I put more, and I'm not competing now, but I put more emphasis on my spiritual and my mental side of things, and still keeping the fitness in. And it's really helped round me out a little bit more. And I think it's important because now when I talk to women, men too, but women, I have a bit of a deeper ability to share some really heartfelt things, and people trust me because of all the years of doing the body stuff, right? So now I can come in and share with them on a spiritual side of some different ideas of how to build up your spirit, not just your body.
Right.
And I think it's really important for women to know that, yes, it's so important to train these bodies and to eat well and sleep well and all the like standard things that we know, and then also the spirit side of, you know, your faith, who is God in your life, how do you utilize your faith in your walk. And I just find that it's a really important component a lot of people kind of forget about, and when you kind of remind them, they're like, oh, that's kind of important too, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's just a total package, but I mean, obviously weight training, being strong, like, you know, learning confidence, having confidence, a lot of that comes from just knowing how to work through the weight training, work through the nutrition, and then also working through building your spirit too. So,
I love that, for sure.
yeah, and I love relationships. I love to talk. We can
talk all day.
We can talk about everything. And talk
Come
about
back
nothing.
tomorrow. We'll be here again all day.
We'll chat.
So it's really fun. I've had such a great time. I started the Monica Brant show in 2020 with the lockdown, and I was like, I just want to talk to my friends. I want to see what people are doing. Like, how has the lockdown affected you? So I've been talking to the men bodybuilders. Like Ronnie Coleman was my first interview, right? And it's just gone on like with the women that have been in the sport earlier in the years, all the way up to current. So it's been really fun to just get to visit with people, and men, especially the men, because I can kind of bring out some different questions that they may not have had.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
Where does so tell us about distribution and where you're at and all these things that we can find out more about Strong and all the stuff that you're involved in this community.
We are across North America on all the main retail places that carry magazines.
Awesome.
You can also subscribe for a yearly subscription.
You can still get
Nice.
subscriptions
Yeah,
to your mailbox.
come into your mailbox. It's like a nice little gift
It's so
Every
fun.
month. Yeah.
Yeah. And then right now, today, we are running a cover athlete contest. So you can come over to the booth, you can take a picture, and then you're submitted into the contest, and we are going to be choosing at the end of the month for one of the covers for 2023.
That's going to be a tough choice here at the Olympia.
Like that.
No, and we want to hear stories. Like, we want to hear people's stories. That's our main goal.
Yeah.
So we're really, really excited to connect with more women and just hear about how they got into fitness and hear about their story and give a person a chance or a platform that maybe they never thought that they would do.
Kind of like, to touch on that, when you said you moved to California and started getting on those covers, like it changed your life, right? Changed your direction. And that's what we're trying to tell all the women who are coming out today, but even people who have submitted online. We opened it up even outside of the Olympia. Just that, getting that can absolutely change your life.
Yes.
When Jennifer started getting her covers, it changed her life. When Jack
changed my life.
Everybody has changed their life. Right. You know that, of course, it changes your life.
For sure. My first cover, 1994. I wasn't anyone in the industry. It was a random photo shoot that I ended up getting to do, and I said get to do, and I didn't even know that I was shooting with a photographer who was a contracted photographer for Weeder Publications. I had no idea. I didn't even know what that meant.
Right.
It was crazy. The stories are so cool, and that's one of the things I love is finding out what are people's stories, right? So that's awesome. I love that you guys are doing that and giving people an opportunity to share their story.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
There's so many good stories out there.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Yeah.
So where are you guys? What booth are you? You're over here. What number?
We're 1185.
85.
Yep.
Okay.
And you can also follow us on social, of course. We're Strong Fitness Mag.
Yeah.
on
Okay.
social,
That's
on
Strong
Instagram.
Fitness Mag.
And I can't wait to see Paul. And Vince.
Yeah, come over. I'll let them know to come and say hi to you
Yes,
over
and then
here.
We're gonna have to get over there. And
Come
take
over and
some
we'll
pictures
take a good black and white.
Yeah, let's take some pictures over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds awesome. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thanks
you.
for having us.
And joining us on the fly.
Thank you for making space for us.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
so fun.
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining
Thank
us
you.
here at the
All
Market
right.
Brant Show Olympia 2022. And go check out Strong everywhere. It's
Hey, who's this on the
everywhere.
cover? Who's this on the cover? Thanks, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Check in 1, 2. Check. All right, check 1, 2, 3, 4. Got me. All right.
And we are on live with ADL in the house.
Okay.
We're good. Oh my gosh, we're good.
Amazing.
Okay, so welcome guys back to the Monica Brant Show. I'm your host, Monica. We've got Mighty Joe here from Gym Life
That's right.
Media.
That's right.
Right sitting next to me, and we've got a fine gentleman here who's got even a finer fiance?
Yes, something like that. I think now we're married, but not officially. It's been 8 years.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We've got Chris.
Legally married now after 7, I think it is.
Against my will, we're legally married.
Oh, gotcha. She's here in Vegas with you, though, right?
She just competed today, Bojana Vasilovic.
Okay. I did not know that.
I've been messaging her, seeing if we could get her here. So
oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Minutes. Yep, you got it. You did it.
I said it. Yay! And you've got one of the biggest shows out there right now, pro shows, that just happened this past October. Will you tell us about it, please?
Yeah, we have the Legion Sports Fest. It has become quite a spectacle. Of course, we have the full IPV
I like
show.
Spectacle.
Everything we do is
a great
spectacle.
word.
It's big and theatrical, and we're well known for our stages. But in addition to the bodybuilding show, we have the IPV, we have the NPC, but we have 9 sports. So we're talking strongman, powerlifting. Have you seen Armored Combat? You know what this is?
No.
So this is where these guys, you know what it is,
I know what
right?
you're talking about. Yeah.
These guys dress up in full, legit armor.
Yes.
And legit beat the crap out of each other.
Entertaining
with
is
no wonder you know.
everything.
No
Yes,
wonder
it's
you
great.
know.
You think it's going to be like, like medieval, like a Ren Fair kind of. No, it's like one dude lost his finger.
It's serious
He
combat.
got stuck in another dude's armor.
Oh my
and his
gosh.
finger, not at my
Are they
Crazy.
on horses or are they just on foot?
They should. That's a good idea.
That's
Like
a great
the
idea.
Knights?
People
Like
will
the
die.
Liability might be rough,
People will
Chris.
die.
Yes. That'd be some tough insurance right there.
So, I mean, that one, like, people come for the bodybuilding show, they stay for Armored Combat.
Wow.
There's arm wrestling, Muay
Awesome.
Thai, weightlifting.
Okay.
We do it all. We keep expanding. So, and an expo about the size of this, actually.
Wow, and then you had ADL Live there streaming, right?
And man, did they kick butt. Holy crap.
I mean,
like,
Don told me he was coming out, and
Yep.
I have been in and out of the industry the last couple of years. So I had heard about you guys through Don, and he told me what a great event you guys had, and I didn't put it together that you and your beautiful Bojana were putting that on. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
Well, I saw everything that was being posted about Legion this year.
Awesome.
It was by far the coolest thing that I've seen in a promotional bodybuilding expo, right?
Right.
Because it was amazing. And you're right. There's no better stage in bodybuilding.
Thank you
than
for
your
saying that. I
stage.
appreciate
Absolutely.
that. You know, it's one thing we do. I don't know if you caught this, but our top champs, like top champs, we turn them into cartoon superheroes.
Love it. I loved it.
So the backdrop on our stage, we've got the LED panels and the lights and everything, but it's like 8, 10, 12, 15 foot tall versions of the previous winners in their superhero
Super cool.
form. And so when Sean Clarita won, he's called the Giant Killer. You know, he's a little guy, kills the giants. So I had a cartoon made of him in armor, holding the head of a giant,
Nice.
a decapitated head, and that was the center.
Yeah.
That
very
was the
cool.
center of our stage, and then all the other superheroes as well.
You know what I love about that, Chris, is when you see something like that at a promotion and through promoting, right? You know there's an investment there because that's something above and beyond.
Right.
You know, and that's what I really loved about it when I first started seeing your stage kind of be assembled, because Don's great at that.
Yeah.
Everything is kind of like in a timeline.
Yeah.
It was a great show, and it sounds like you're taking over the world, man.
I'm
Taking
trying.
over the world from Reno.
From Reno.
Yeah.
I love it, from Reno.
And it's all built on as you can see, even by making the cartoons, it's about taking care of the athletes.
Yes.
It's about giving back. It's about the experience.
Right.
And that's what it's. And there's a lot of creativity. I think you can't buy creativity. So you actually can spend the same amount, but go so much farther with creativity and listening to your athletes and listening to their experience and being open to taking the criticism and being better, because isn't that what a good athlete does? They want that feedback. You go to the judges and say,
absolutely.
how can I do better? And I took that as a bodybuilder and brought it into my promotion. And I go to the judges and I go to the athletes, what did I screw up on? What can I do better? And I do that the next time. And when Bojana competes, how was your Olympia experience?
Right.
What did they may have missed? Or what did I miss that the Olympia had to constantly make the shows better?
What is your background? I know bodybuilder, athlete, all that, but really what led you into this promoting, right? I mean, the center podium.
So I was a degree in business. I was actually a GM of a hotel when I started competing.
Oh,
I
wow.
started as a power lifter.
Okay.
You know, I was kind of a power builder, and
Yeah,
I kept I kept winning.
Bad thing, yeah.
I kept winning,
Okay.
and I was like, all right, let's try bodybuilding now, which
Yeah.
I must say was much harder.
Yeah, different animal
because
for sure.
I couldn't eat the same, and I like to eat. Ice cream is fantastic. And so that got me into it, but because I had this business background, and I actually had promoted a lot of different events. I worked at a ski resort, so my degree is business with a concentration in ski resort management.
Okay,
So it's kind
sounds
of a
fun.
funny.
I'm sorry, I'm blown away. Every guest we have has such a unique
Yes, I know
big
it.
story.
Seriously.
Like, you cannot bring someone into this industry, into our seat here, and them not have a big
I know
story
it.
about who they are, how they got here, all the things they do, all the education, like, we haven't not one person that has a lame story.
Yeah, no. Like I'm here
it's like-
because I'm here. It's like, yeah, it's just,
No,
it's
it's
a
like
really
this,
weird path
this,
got
this.
you to where you're at.
We're an interesting group of people.
Yeah.
You know, that's what
We really are, and very smart people. Not very intelligent people.
I
that
would say
come
that's
through
like the
this industry.
biggest misconception about our world.
Oh, for sure.
You know,
For sure.
I've always said, like, to do what you do on stage, whether it's powerlifting or bodybuilding, there is a character you need to own that needs to be part of you to get to that place. And that's a character then you can apply in all parts of your life. So in business, so you set the goal and you grind no matter what it
Yes.
takes, whatever's thrown at
Yeah.
you. No prep is perfect, right?
Right.
You're gonna have breakups. You're gonna have money problems. Who knows what's gonna happen? But you have to keep pushing forward. And I think when we learn that in our sport, it translates to everything we do in our lives and makes our people fantastic people.
At the level you're promoting with the Legion right now, and I say level, it's top of the mountain stuff.
Top of the top.
What was the evolution there? I mean, what am I missing? What is that? What's the story behind
I would
that?
say, so while I'm running hotels and ski areas or whatever else I'm doing,
Back
I
to the
started
hotel
bodybuilding,
running.
right? And I did 2-3 shows, and I was like,
Yeah.
the athletes are almost being disrespected by how poor this
You hear it all the
production is,
time, yeah.
how we're being treated.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm going to do this right. And I lived in Tahoe at the time, and I had some great friends at the casinos. And I said, let's try this, and I want to put it in your beautiful venue.
Gotcha.
And we're going to try to do everything right. And it kicked ass. And I just took that business model, and I kept building on it, making it better and better, and reproduced it in all of our shows. And now we're as far as Kazakhstan.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we brought
yeah.
the NPC and IBB Pro League to Kazakhstan
Wow, how exciting
this
is that?
year.
Yeah.
You know, so it's pretty cool. It all
Wow,
started in Lake Tahoe at a little
Relationships.
casino
We've got, now that's the common denominator today. It really is the common
It
denominator.
is about relationships and,
Yeah.
and meeting people and getting to know people and finding out who they are, what's important to them, and yeah. So I think it's awesome. I love it. It's fun to hear, and I want to come to your show sometime.
I hope you do.
Maybe we
You're
can take
invited.
thank you.
I'll give you one of these.
The
You
Monica
can do
Brant
this. Do the
Show
Monica
at the
Brant
Legion.
Show there?
Absolutely.
Monica Brant Show.
Hey, maybe we could get
Let's
some
do it.
superheroes.
All right, you see that the deal
Yeah.
is done.
Oh, that's
Well
it. It's on tape.
That means
Yeah.
we got ADL
Yeah,
back.
there we go.
We got
We're
everybody.
going to shake on the Mighty Joe. Over
Yes,
here.
yes. All right, I'm
Done deal.
coming. I'm
Done.
coming.
You
Yeah.
guys saw it here.
Yes.
They're committed. They're committed.
Oh, I can't
You
wait,
already have the
honestly.
dates?
Love it.
You already have dates for
Yes,
next year?
October 6th, 7th, and 8th for the Legion Sports Fest. If you go to centerpodium.com, you can see our whole schedule. We start with our first show in May and have shows all over the world.
Awesome.
Love it.
Every month.
Yeah.
Seminars, because we love to get back to the athletes.
So this is
I
your
love
life
it.
now. This is it.
Oh, this is all
Yeah,
I do. Yeah,
got it.
Yep,
Okay.
We got a team. We're just growing and growing.
Oh my gosh, Chris, this has been so exciting talking to you, and I love thinking about next year and some
Absolutely.
things that we can
Yeah.
get involved with and do something different and come in and support what you guys are doing, and you guys support the show. Like, it's a win-win.
That's what we're about.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
love it.
win-win. Everybody has to
And
come
we're going
up.
to get your beautiful Boyana here, right?
Yes, we're going to get here on
Yeah,
tomorrow. We're
right.
going to wash the tan off of her, and she's going to get
Did
some
she-
food in her.
She have a good prejudging today?
She didn't quite end up where she wanted to be. The goal was to add some size, and,
Okay.
and she got that.
She
But,
has
you know,
such a beautiful body,
she,
physique.
she
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
one thing, her genetics, her tiny little waist.
Yes,
I mean,
right.
it's amazing what she's.
Well, we can't wait to have her here in the
Yeah,
booth, so you're going to
absolutely.
bring her over at some
we
point.
will be doing that.
I love it.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I really,
that's awesome.
Thank
it's
you
been
so
a pleasure
much.
talking
Thank
to
you
both
so
of
much.
you.
All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We've got some more guests coming right up with the Monica Brant Show.
See ya.
My Hormones. See this T-shirt? It's on his T-shirt. Balance My Hormones. Yeah.
You have some water? Are you drinking water?
Do you have a little bit of water? A small bottle? No, an extra one?
I don't. I'm sorry. And I just checked. We don't have any water.
What's that? Energy drink?
Yeah, that would be good. The one
Hey, Nancy, can you grab a C4?
How's it going, bro?
Good, you alright?
Just gonna keep this a little close to you. Speak with your outdoor voice a little loud in here. Don't worry, it won't sound
Okay,
like yelling,
fine.
but thank you so much.
Thank you. The red button, yes. The red one. The shiny red one. He actually does photography.
Does he?
Check.
But videos are his.
Good, yep, check it.
Hello, testing, 1, 2, 3.
And hello, Monica's here.
Hey, it's Joe from Gym Life Media at the Monica Brant Show at the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada for the Olympia Expo.
Olympia!
Hello, everybody. Yes, we're back again with another great interview, all the way from across the pond, as we say.
Yes.
Mike Kosas from Balance My Hormones, speaking at Olympia University. Was that today already, right?
That was today this morning at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
9 a.m. So you gave everyone the information they needed for the whole day.
Absolutely.
Are you speaking tomorrow?
I'll be part of the round table.
Oh, that's right, the roundtable discussion, yeah.
Who was involved with the roundtable?
Dr. George Fliatos, Rick Collins, to name a few.
Yeah,
Okay.
Nathan Payton, I think, is going to be on there. We spoke with him.
Yes.
It's quite a roundtable of minds.
Yes.
A lot of hormones going on tomorrow. There's a lot of hormones in that room.
Lots of health and fitness.
Yeah.
You know, how to be a better version of you.
Yeah. It's talk a little bit about your business and balancing.
So I founded Balance My Hormones way back in 2016 in the UK. I've always said so we can offer American-style TRT and HRT, but with British sensibilities. And the EU, we also help EU patients.
Like that, yeah.
So, because at the time it's very lacking. I don't think people realize in the US that whilst people are good-mannered in the UK, people are like tea.
Yeah.
But they don't really understand healthcare other than the national health system. Okay?
Right.
The national health system is a government-run healthcare, but they were excluding certain men from being on treatment. Or if men were given treatment, they were given inadequate treatment. They weren't getting better. So I thought, well, why? This is becoming more popular in the US. Why not bring this model to the UK?
Oh, that's great.
And so we've helped thousands of men and women also with HRT and testosterone as well to start feeling better, to feel optimized, and to feel balanced.
I love how simple your name is. Balance your hormones.
Yeah.
I mean, do people ever ask you, what do you do?
I say we
And
do.
you're like,
We'll balance your hormones. Everybody wants their hormones balanced, but I really love that because I guess we take it for granted sometimes. Maybe here with all the TRT clinics that we have in particular and the hormone clinics, that you're right, there are those gaps around the world. You just identified that over there.
Absolutely.
And the need for that. And how's it going? Are you reaching a lot of people right now?
Yeah, absolutely. We've had our best year ever. We've grown by 25% from the year before.
Congratulations. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
wow, that's great.
We're going into the 7th year in business. And
How many years?
7 years.
7 years.
7 years.
Perfect
So-
7.
Yeah.
And we have doctors like Dr. George Fliatos helps us in Europe. He's one of the
Okay.
doctors in Europe. And
We
we've
love
also-
him.
Yeah, he's so great. And we also have some other doctors in the UK who we've been able to get to focus and specialize in this, because even if you're an endocrinologist, they usually focus on diabetes, and we call them
Right.
mediocre diabetes specialists, because if they were good diabetes specialists, they would actually treat with testosterone and all other hormones.
Right.
Right.
Where do you find a majority right now of your clientele that you're getting over there? I know we're in a place right now with all these athletes, and when we think about TRT and hormone replacement, we often think of the athlete.
You got it.
Where are we getting it right now? Where do you find a majority of your clients? Are they coming out of just the common man?
Yeah, the majority of the clients are usually men over the age of 35, though we do find some younger men.
Yeah.
Men who have been suffering from brain fog, just general malaise, lack of libido. These are men just from every walk of life, really. Some are more professional, have more professional roles. They maybe work in the city, or maybe they work in law. We have ex-policemen that have come to us. So all walks of life, really.
Yeah.
And even some younger patients, and women as well. So what will happen is the men will do really well on treatment, and their wives will want hormones as well, because
right.
their husbands are always a bit randy, always looking for
Yeah, right.
We need something too.
And women need testosterone, and there's a lot of women, especially ones who have who have been on birth control, that may actually be inducing hypogonadism in women. If you think about it, if you're giving women exogenous hormones as a birth control, it will shut down eventually their natural production and take a while for it to come back online, just like men who are either abusing anabolic steroids or taking testosterone. It will shut down their HPTA axis.
Yeah.
And it can come back online eventually.
Right. Are you finding these clients, customers, patients, are you finding them more on social media, or is it more word of mouth? What do you find is helping people find you?
So we have a website, balancemyhormones.co.uk, and we have massive amounts of people that visit the site every day. We also have a Facebook group called Bespoke TRT, or Balance My Hormones Bespoke TRT.
Okay.
And there are people that they're interactive in the community, and they post messages. They sometimes leave their blood tests. We also have our YouTube channel called Balance My Hormones. So we've got about 32.5 thousand subscribers now. And so people are active on the comments there as well.
You're doing a lot of educational pieces and getting people.
Because we want to give back.
That's good.
We want to let people know, what it's all about, and we want to break the taboo and the social stigma around TLC.
I was just going to say that, because I think growing up in the industry, for me, it was always like, you hear testosterone and it was just like, oh, you're on steroids. And I never used testosterone when I was younger. I started in my 40s, and I'm 52 now, so I'm using a topical now. And I'm so thankful to know about it. But you're right, like the stigma was just people didn't know, and it just wasn't out there like it is now. So it's really awesome that there's so much information.
Well, it's interesting. I was in a newspaper, a national newspaper called the Daily Mail, which I joke and call the Daily Fail, because they completely misinterpreted what I said and were misleading. And I said things like, testosterone can improve your life. And with testosterone, you can also use HCG to improve your fertility. And I said you can have your cake and eat it. And they completely reversed what I said and said that you can't have your cake and eat it because testosterone will lead to infertility, and guys just want it for a Love Island body.
Yeah, common misconceptions. Yeah, absolutely.
So
that's something.
then I got on national television in the UK and was able to set the record straight.
I did not say that.
That's great. I love it.
Them know that's not the case, because they were trying to conflate testosterone use with anabolic steroid abuse.
Right.
And we weren't having it.
Everybody tries to correlate that. Everybody tries to correlate that.
Right.
What kind of obstacles have you had to overcome introducing this type of treatment over in the UK?
Well, the UK is probably one of the most regulated countries in the world, right? So, if you do anything in life, you need to register with a regulator in the UK. They don't trust private business very much. And as much as people, like I said, think we're friendly, we love tea, and we're good-mannered, it's not very nice doing business in the UK from that point of view. But once you learn what needs to be done, we had to register our clinic. So like in the US, if you're a doctor, you get insurance, you have your medical license, you set up shop, right? Maybe you have OSHA compliance, but that's all you need. In the UK, it's not enough just to have doctors working at your clinic. You have to join something called the Care Quality Commission, another overburdening regulator that is very invasive. It's like having someone micromanaging you. So it's just really...
So it was quite a startup.
It's a huge investment and startup to do. But once you do it, you know you've helped people. You know you've got the satisfaction when people say, you saved my life. Literally, they said, I was ready to top myself.
That's everything.
Yeah, mental health has a lot to do with hormones.
Everything.
Yeah, we're in a hormone revolution right now. We really are.
We are.
People are understanding it in large part because there's good companies out there explaining it, and not just letting kind of the rumors take over.
Right.
That's where we're unique in our model, is that we have a TRT coaching service built in. So when you have your subscription, we guide you through, we walk you through. It's fair use on essentially unlimited calls with your case manager, and then we can triage you to the doctor when you need to have those consultations on a regular basis. Usually in the start at the beginning, 3 to 6 weeks to 6 months when you start. 1 year and then 18 months and yearly thereafter.
That's awesome. That piece, that coaching piece and accountability and helping people understand what you'll experience along the way, what's going to help with that journey too, right? Because people, you can't just turn someone over and go, okay, well, good luck.
Yeah. So we've got quite a mix of case managers, from ex-doctors to clinical nurses, to TRT advocates, to fitness coaches as well. A nice mix of case managers that really help both the men and the women.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Really is.
Really is awesome. I know.
All these smart people today.
I know.
Can we get some just dumb old meatheads tomorrow or something? Seriously.
It's rubbing off on us. We're much smarter now than when we started.
It's ready to explode.
Yeah. So how many times have you been to the Olympia now?
This is my first Olympia.
What?
Yes,
We've got a lot
first
of
Olympia.
first timers too here.
So
I love it. I love it.
I went to the Arnold several times.
Okay.
And when in the UK we had an Arnold.
Oh, that's right. You have the Arnold now.
I think they've cancelled it in the UK, but and we actually had a booth for our company in the UK.
Oh, nice.
The Arnold there. And then I said the Arnold in Columbus, and we'll actually be at the Arnold in Columbus
in March.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think this is a bit more interesting. This is the big show here. This
you get to enjoy yourself a little bit on the strip out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've seen a little bit of Vegas. Have you been here before?
Yeah, I've been here before.
Okay.
All
right.
So you're not new to Vegas, just the Olympia.
No, my brother had a stag do here.
Oh, then you've been to Vegas.
Yeah. I've got fond memories in 2009.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I can't say too much.
Yeah.
Well, we've all probably had our little Vegas episodes.
Yes. For another episode, we'll talk about
it. It builds character, right?
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not a big drinker these days.
I don't even think you need to be here, do you?
No, that's true. I'm not a big gambler either.
No, even that you don't need to be. Yeah.
Well, I think the alcohol piece is really important because as we get older, alcohol is like it's kind of you gravitate to, let's have a glass of wine or something, right? Yeah. But I know that kills a lot of what we're trying to do with exercise, eating well, and taking if you're on a hormone replacement therapy. So it's really crazy how the alcohol is, as you get older, people are like kind of gravitating to it, but then it really is killing. So how do you coach your people through that if they like to have a drink, the lifestyle?
You try to say, look, you got to do everything. We say testosterone and donuts and alcohol don't mix. You've got to do the right
dance.
Yeah, you got to do the right things: diet, exercise, sleep, reduce stress. That all makes a difference because you can't expect miracles overnight if you're not doing the right things. Maybe even avoiding. I know there's some health benefits of cannabis, but not when it comes to the hormones. It really can mess up.
Okay.
Have more of an estrogenic effect. Some of the too much. I mean,
There's a lot of good stuff out there with that.
And that's good information because I think a lot of people, there's a lot of great information about understanding hormones better. It's all those sort of things on the peripheral that are affecting it indirectly, that even if you're doing the right thing and you're still kind of doing all those other intangibles, you can still have a problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to be a teetotaler. I mean, you can have, I had a drink with, we had steak dinner, I had one glass of wine, and it's fine, but if you have too many, if it's, you're like, oh, what time is it? It's wine o'clock, right?
Yeah.
That's probably not the best approach.
Now, a few years back, I went to an appearance in Japan, and it was really fun. It was on a military base, and I was, the guest, and I was a guest judge and all this kind of stuff. They had a bodybuilding show. Well, the guy that won, I was asking him about his win, and how'd you get ready? He goes, I drank sake and I smoked cigarettes. And that's all I did to get ready. And I'm like, okay, that
I guess
is not normal.
Good genes, good genetics.
I was like, okay, and I didn't know how to come back on that one. I was like, well, okay, and he won the show. So I was like, okay, well,
I guess
so on to the next.
Yeah, I guess that doesn't work with you.
But I think there's outliers to
absolutely
everyone.
Yeah.
For I think a vast majority of people, getting the right quality of sleep, making sure you watch what you're eating. If your hormones are deficient, then you ought to get those looked into and sorted.
Yeah, for sure. Right. I love this talk.
This is
it
awesome.
Never gets boring. Yeah.
No, right? I mean, when we always say we could sit and talk. We're trying to keep these short and sweet, but we can sit and talk. We love to talk.
Absolutely. I do like that, though. I want to see that T-shirt come, though. Donuts, alcohol, and testosterone don't mix. I want to see that.
Yeah. I used to have an article on my website that said, I think it said testosterone donuts don't mix.
I love it. Yeah.
I sold a T-shirt years ago, and I might bring it back, but it says chicken or chocolate. The choice is yours. And
would that be KFC?
So,
no.
No. And the funny thing, my trainer that helped me get ready for my win at the '98 Olympia, she was my coach, Joanne Lee. She's from the UK. She was Olympia competitor, bodybuilding. But anyways, she went to the UK, saw her family one time. She came home. We're living in LA, and I was like, "How was your trip?" She goes, with her beautiful UK accent, "It was awesome. I ate chicken and chocolate the whole time." And I was like, "I love that." So I made a T-shirt that said "Chicken or chocolate, the choice is yours."
That's great.
That is good.
Hey, how was my accent there?
It was a bit.
It was terrible, Monica.
It was terrible, right?
Island, maybe, I thought.
Yeah.
She always
Don't
told me
lie
to
to her.
watch out for the Southern boys in the UK. Don't talk to the Southern boys in the UK.
Yes, like London, the London street.
I don't know. She always just, she was fun. She just told me little fun stuff. But anyways,
South London, yeah.
It's been awesome having a conversation
thank
with
you
you.
for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much.
Yeah,
You guys
thanks.
check out Balance Your Hormones.
Balance My Hormones.
Oh, Balance My Hormones.
We
right.
do what we say on the tin, and we got the YouTube channel and the website balancemyhormones.co.uk, and you can find it all there.
So I'm going to come find you on YouTube, and you're going to follow me back, right? The Monica Brant Show.
In fact, you're welcome to
Gym
come
Life
on.
Media.
You're welcome to come on my channel as well.
Ooh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
Yeah, we'll
Appreciate
promote
it,
you
Mike.
as well,
Yeah,
so
that'd
Be
be
awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like a big party.
Yeah,
Okay,
fun.
I love it.
I love it.
All right.
All right, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Yep, all right. Thanks, everybody.
All right, guys, we'll see you on the next day. Bye, guys.